Hey guys, welcome back to Jay's Auto Detailing. Today we're going to go over some new products and materials and tools that I have in the shop. So it's been a little bit since I put a video out. Been busy all through the summer, and then winter came and we kind of just came to a screeching halt and nothing really crazy was coming in. So there wasn't anything really worthy of making a video. But here we are toward the end of March and things are starting to pick up a little bit. The weather's been improving. We had a really cold January and February here in Northeast PA, and I don't blame anyone for not really wanting to get their vehicles detailed. We had a couple sporadic cars come in for interiors and just basic washes and things like that, but we're getting into the bulk of our busy season. As the weather improves, April and May are always our busiest months going in through the summer, and then summer's pretty steady as we go all the way through like November into December. And really, in this area, it's always weather dependent. I mean, I stay relatively busy in the winter. It's just there's not a lot of stuff coming in. You know, we're not banging out a lot of cars like we would in the summer months. So recently I grabbed a couple new things just to kind of get some new products and materials for the upcoming season. And you can see hanging on the ceiling behind me, I got some Hex Lights. And everything that I'm going to go over in the video, I will put the links to them, whether I got them on Amazon or a certain website. I will definitely put the links down below so that you could grab these if you're interested. So we'll start with the lights. So I wound up getting these lights on Amazon, and I know there are other companies that make these lights and they're pretty expensive. And for me, I just wanted to kind of give these a trial run. These were only a couple $100, if that. I don't even think I paid over $200 for them. Waited for them to go on sale on Amazon, scoffed them up, wound up having my son and my wife help me put them up. They're a little rickety to try to put up yourself. I mean, they bend, and trying to get all the hooks and everything to hook up to the ceiling was a little tricky. It took a few hours, but let me turn them on and just show you how bright they are. All right, so you can already see, even without looking up at the lights, it's brighter when I'm standing underneath them. But you can see behind me, there we go. And for paint correction purposes, I mean, it does show a lot of dust nibs that are in the paint. Sometimes it'll kind of hide the scratches depending on what vehicle, the color of the vehicle. It might make it easier or even sometimes more difficult to see the scratches. So I kind of depend on both lights, my Hex Lights and also my high bays. So I might not even use the Hex Lights sometimes and just use the high bays and kind of look across, or I'll use my handheld light to kind of check the paint over before we do any paint correction or buffing or polishing for that matter. Along with the lights on the ceiling, I also added some strip lighting to the walls. Again, these were found, I got them on Amazon, they were super cheap. I wound up ordering one set, and then I didn't like the color it was giving off. I forget what the color was. Just wasn't, it was actually too bright, and it was actually kind of hurting your eyes when you were looking at it, and even super bright on the side of the car. So let me turn these on also. Now, I didn't go crazy with the wiring and everything. You could see that they all just kind of connect to each other from top and then down here on the bottom to the next one, and then it makes its way over to the plug. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8 of them strung together on the wall here. And besides for that, so if we have a car in this bay and we're working on it, we have the lights on the wall. I depend on, and I showed this in other videos, my drywall cart with a light that I have strung to it, which I'll put on the other side of the car so we can kind of see on both sides. But it is super bright. I mean, aesthetically, it makes cool pictures and videos with the Hex Lights as you're moving across the car. And I don't know, I'm not 100% sold on them. I mean, they are nice, and I know a lot of people use them. So a couple other things that I picked up, you can see my foam cannons that are hanging on the wall here. So these were on Amazon. They're quick disconnects that mount to the wall, and I like that it just keeps them off the shelf. They look nice and organized on the wall. So very easy to get off. Just like a quick disconnect that you would have on, you know, the end of your pressure washer, and boom, they click right back onto the wall. So they're there, and I noticed I had them on the shelf, and if they were empty, or if there was a little bit of soap still left in them, they're always like falling over. So this makes it look a little better. Right next to that, I have all my polishers hanging on the wall here, and I bought 3, 6, 8 of these hooks to hang the polishers on the wall. Again, they mount right to the wall here. These were on Amazon also, and just keeps the polisher off the floor, off the shelf, more organized. Things look a little better. Detailing product wise, everything that's on my shelf here, I really didn't use or get anything new. I think I covered in one of my older videos, I started using, maybe I didn't, I don't know. It was like midsummer when I started using this. Jescar correcting compound, really, really good stuff. I'm really a big fan of this. It doesn't dust, it doesn't sling all over the place. It has a good working time, and I'm seeing really good results using this. Most of the time I'm using my Roops polisher. I've also used it with the rotary and a wool pad, and it's really knocking out sanding scratches and blemishes in the paint pretty quick. We do come back with another round of compound or another round of polish afterwards just to knock out any haze, but I'm seeing great results with that. Highly recommend checking it out if you haven't used it yet. But like I said, beyond that, all the products that you see behind me, I've basically talked about in some of my other videos. I really haven't strayed far away from them. They've been working great for me for all these years, so there's really no reason to change anything. There is one product I think that I started using not too long ago. I watched a lot of videos on these, and a lot of other detailers have been using it with great results, and that's Gummifix from Koche Chemie. We use these on a lot of rubber floor mats, especially the WeatherTech floor mats, because you've seen them before if you're a detailer, or even if you have your own, especially in used and abused vehicles. They get worn down, and even after you scrub them and clean them the best you can, once they dry, they still kind of look ratty. This stuff definitely makes a huge difference. It's not slippery, it dries, but it leaves a nice matte finish on the rubber floor mat, and they look almost brand new. So check this out if you haven't used it before. It's definitely worth the money. I almost forgot while I was over here showing you the polishers. Next to that, I talked about these lights that we use. These are actually under hood lights, and they stretch. So what I've noticed from overuse, using them so much in vehicles, that this spring in here actually gets a little stretched out, and most of the time they don't fit in the vehicles because we will string them across from one side of the door to the other. And we're finding out that the more we use them, they get stretched out, and they're really not fitting in the cars anymore, or they'll be falling. You'll be in the middle of working and they kind of fall on your head. Sometimes we're able to string them up and make them work. Other times it's just not working. So we still do use them occasionally, but I also did find these under hood lights. Okay, so they have hooks on the end. They're stretchy, okay, and we could fit those in. Sometimes we can hang them, depending on how wide the car is, sometimes we can hang them on the arm hooks on each side. Other times we'll have to string them from the outside, you know, throw some towels down, but they also give off very good light. See if this one's charged up. We use this one a lot, so yep, it's charged up, there we go. So it gives off good light. The light itself isn't as long as the other lights that I had, but it definitely gives off a good amount of light. So we're using those on the interiors as well as the ones that we wear on our head. So it lights up the interior pretty well. And if I have these lights on above me, the Hex Lights and the side lights, we're just trying to get as much light into the interior as we possibly can when we're cleaning those. One of the last things I just picked up, I've been using the Tornador air guns for the longest time, and this is another product that gets used and abused. I mean, daily we're using them in the dry cars, and we're using them on the interior to blow things out from under seats. This tool is used on a daily basis, and what's been happening is, you can see in there the little plastic spinner, they kind of get caught up. So this one, actually, the one that I have in my hand, It has been clogged up. I've cleaned it multiple times and it's just not spinning anymore. I have nothing against Tornador. I mean, we have their other tools. We have this one too that works great. But I just recently picked up the newest gun from the Rag Company. I'm going to give this one a shot. So this one has the ball bearing inside. You can see the little metal piece that's going to spin around instead of the plastic, and everything's kind of covered up in there. So we're going to give this one a shot. I have not used it yet. It just got delivered yesterday. The other thing that I did for the Tornadors, which made a pretty big difference when we're using it, is I put these little swivels on the end. So makes a big difference when you're using it on the interior. You can get different angles very easily as opposed to just being in one fixed position. Originally, and I have these on the other Tornadors, the Rag Company makes their own swivels, but I happened to be in Harbor Freight a few weeks ago and saw that these were packaged. I believe I got 2 or 3 of them together, and they were a little bit cheaper. Issues, they're not leaking or anything, so that might be something to check out. But it definitely made a huge difference by putting these on the tools. So we have them on the regular guns, and I have them on these also. So I have a couple that I got from the Rag Company that we're using, and like I said, the other ones from Harbor Freight. I also grabbed this little mini air gun this is made by Tornador. I grabbed this a couple months ago. Another good tool to use, especially when you're in tight spots. You can't get the larger air tool in there. You use this. We also use this to dry vehicles off too. Like I mentioned earlier, I will definitely put all of the links to these items that I just described that I'm using down below in the description. And if you're interested, you want to give them a shot, I want to try them out first and see if they're going to work for me. And if they do, then we're good to go. If not, I will move on to something else. But check them out, see if you like them. I definitely recommend the items. I haven't had any issues with them, and like I said, we use and abuse them all the time. Besides for detailing products, you know, my garage also doubles as an area for my own stuff. And over the winter time, I grabbed some things and some decorations to put on the inside and the outside. So let me flip this camera around. So one of the first things is this Sunoco pump. Don't mind all my stuff. My son had his race yesterday on his first hare scramble race of the year, so he's got all of his gear sitting here. But I got this pump on the inside here, and I have another one outside that I'll show you when I get out there. But 2 Sunoco pumps, wound up grabbing those a few months ago. And I know the globe itself does not belong on the top for this period. This is like a 60s pump. The globe's pretty cool, and I have lights in it. Let me get the lights on for you. I have a light up top and then a light inside to kind of give it a little display. So I thought that was pretty cool, and once I get outside I'll show you the other one. And then I had a grill for my 85, a spare grill. This is the old grill that was on there. I put a new one, and it doubles as a shelf to show off all of my square body matchboxes. So we have all those on display there. I still need 2 more to fill the whole thing in. I had a bunch already. One of my guys that works with me was able to get me a bunch, and just been checking out at like swap meets, seeing if I could find some cheap ones just to put on there. But pretty cool shelf. This is the other pump that I grabbed, so it was a 2-for deal, and same setup. I got lights on the inside and the globe itself lights up. My old bench that I still have. And then the latest thing that I did is I grabbed this 58 Impala hood at a swap meet and gave it a little patina look, and using that as an awning. So the next thing I'm going to do is get some barn lights. I want to replace that motion light with a barn light, and also replace the 2 lights that are over there. So that's my little video showing you some of the new things that we have in the shop. Like I said, busy season is coming up. We're into spring. I'm looking forward to working on some cool cars. Hopefully I get some more longer videos out for you and show you what we're working on, especially the classic cars that'll be coming in. Car show season is going to be starting. Thanks for watching, guys. Any questions, let me know below. We'll see you next time.